offside.
Welcome back to another No Offsides Weekly Update. In this episode, I'm here to update you on Winter Wars West, PIHA, and D1 Roller. Now let's roll into it. All right, so first thing we're going to talk about is State Wars, Winter Wars West, right? And so, nothing crazy to report on, but your team's list is out. It's all over social media, and schedule is out as well. So go ahead, head over to State Wars website and see if your team's playing, see where your game schedule's at, right? So, and that's happening next weekend, February 21st and 22nd. Now, time to jump into some PIHA, right? And so we, over this past weekend, a lot of semifinals, a lot of semifinal games happened, and you had the Eastern Pro Conference reigned their champion, I should say. No, I'm sorry. I apologize. Had their first semifinal matchup. But let's start in the semi-pro playoffs. Before we get to pro, I'm jumping ahead of myself. I just need to follow my teleprompter, right? Which is not anything besides a piece of paper. And so, we are in the Southeast Division. We're in Raleigh, North Carolina. You have Tidal Waves Mops. You have going up against the Phantoms. You have the Nashville Broadway Blades. Nashville Broadway Blades. And I know all those guys, and I butcher their names. So, versus the Citrus Kings. And so the first matchup of the 1v4 of the Tidal Wave Mops versus the Atlanta Phantoms. The Mops 2-0'd the Phantoms. Game 1, 8-0, and game 2, 9-1. And so then we go into 3 versus 4. And this is a nail biting of a series, right? First game goes to Broadway Blades. They win 3-2. Then the Citrus Kings turn around and win 3-0. And game 3 is decided on a buzzer beater before going to overtime. And the Broadway Blades take it with like 1 second left on the clock. Just as the buzzer goes, they win that game, right? So now in the finals in the Southeast, you have the Mops versus the Blades. And so the Mops, as I said previously, they are not very good at morning games. Well, they proved me wrong, and I now have to eat my words, which is fine, right? Tidal Wave Mops 2-0 the Broadway Blades. They win 3-0 in the first game and 10-3 in the second game. So Tidal Wave Mops, congrats on going to Colorado Springs. Moving to the Metropolitan Division in semi-pro. The 1v4 matchup is the Long Island Empire Snipers versus Champion Impact. In the 2v3 matchup, you have the Suffolk Sting versus East Coast Rebellion. Now, in the Long Island Empire Snipers versus Impact, it is a 2-0 series win by the Snipers. They win game 1 2-0, game 2 3-1. Suffolk Sting come out 2-1 in their series against the Rebellion. They lose game 1 1-3. They win game 2 7-2, and then they win game 3 6-3. Right now, it's Empire Snipers versus Suffolk Sting. We typically see the Sting come out of this division over the past few years, but the Empire Snipers take it. Right, they come in, and this is also just another good series. When it goes 3 games. Empire Snipers win 2-1 in the series. They win. My notes are all jacked up here. But first game goes 2-1 to the Long Island Empire Snipers. Suffolk Sting win 1-0 game 2, and game 3 goes 5-4. Also, game winning goal was with 52 seconds left in the game. So just another good series. We said that this would be a good division to watch, right? Now, jumping down to the Atlantic Division in semi-pro, you have the Empire State La Beta Legends right, versus the Revolt Lightning in the 1v4 matchup. You have in the 2v3 matchup the Trash Pandas, the champion Trash Pandas, I should say, versus the New York Lebeda Whip, right? In the 1v4 matchup, Empire State Lebeda Legends win that series 2-1, winning the first game of 3-2. Revolt Lightning take game 2 4-1, and then the Empire State Lebeda Legends turn around and win 4-1 as well, right? The Trash Pandas win their series 2-0. They win game 1 5-4, game 2 8-3. I'm pretty sure on their social media they had a guy get all bloodied and everything like that. They apparently were, grinding their way through this playoffs, as what I've read on their post. Right? They go in the finals against the Lebeda Legends, and the Lebeda Legends take game 1 4-1, and take game 2 5-0. So it's a 2-0 series win by the Lebeda Legends. Right? And so, we have 3 divisions done. You have Empire State Lebeda Legends going to Colorado Springs. You have the Long Island Empire Snipers going to Colorado Springs. And you have the Tidal Wave Mops going to Colorado Springs, right? And that is at the end of March. Another series going on, which is in the Pro Division, a semifinal, the 1v4 semifinal happened, right? And so you had the Suffolk Sting versus Mauritia Sting, and I've said this on last week's update. I don't know how to pronounce that name, right? So Suffolk Sting playing the same weekend as semi-pro. You have best of 3 series here in the semifinal, the 1v4. The Suffolk Sting take game 1 6-3 and take game 2 9-0. So they will be moving on to the finals, which is this Sunday, the 16th. Right. The other semifinal going on in the Eastern Pro Division for PIHA is the 2v4. No, the 2v3. Bear with me, right? You have the 2v3 matchup, which is the Michigan Fury versus the Pittsburgh Inferno, right? And so this series is happening tomorrow, Saturday, February 15th. And this series is going to be, it's going to be great, right? Because whoever wins this is going to have to turn around the next day and play the Suffolk Sting on Sunday. So it is going to be a gauntlet of a weekend. It is going to be physical, knowing that the people who are on those rosters going up against the team that's been representing the East for quite some time now, the Suffolk Sting, right? They're going to have to run the gauntlet. They're hopefully, one of these teams, hopefully they can take it 2-0 and they can get out of it, with the least amount of bruises and pain possible, but I don't think that's going to happen here. I think it's going to be physical, and then if whoever wins that 2v3 matchup is going to have to push themselves to the limit against the Suffolk Sting and really dig deep in this weekend to verse a rested Suffolk Sting, right? So that's what we have on tap for the Eastern Pro side. The Western Pro side, some regular season games happen. There are still 3 weekends left in the Western side for pro, for regular season games. So there's not much to report yet on, playoff matchups and stuff like that. So their finals are going to be on March 7th, 8th, and 9th. So, there's a lot more to look forward to there. But we do have some key matchups happening this weekend. So we have the Keystone Semi-Pro happening this weekend. And then you have, which is the 15th and 16th. The next weekend, you have several minor divisions going at it, where you have the Metro, Atlantic, and Southeast all going at it on the 22nd and 23rd. So that is another big update going to come towards the end of the month. A lot of hockey going to be played. We'll touch up on those divisions and everything like that, right? So, just to kind of reiterate myself if I'm using that word correctly. Southeast Division semi-pro champions is the Titlewave Mops. The Metropolitan Division of semi-pro is the Long Island Empire Snipers, and the Atlantic Division is the Empire State Little Beta Legends. So those three have cashed their ticket to go to Colorado Springs at the end of March. Let's turn our focus over to D1 roller hockey, because I have yet to touch up on college roller hockey. There's just a lot that goes on with D1. There's not just D1, but just college roller in general. In between D1, AA, D2, D3, and that D3 division is ginormous, right? But a lot of college roller regular season is coming to an end, and so we will get to see who makes it to Fort Myers, Florida, for college nationals. And so our update today is just on D1 college roller. NCRHA released their coaches poll, and there's going to be no surprise here at the top, because Lindenwood comes in at number 1, then Grand Canyon University comes in at number 2. Number 3 is Rowan University. Number 4, Arizona, and number 5, Arizona State. Right, so we'll see what happens after this weekend, because I believe this is the final weekend for D1. And so, yeah, I'm hoping to see what's going on with AA, D2, D3, kind of start reporting that more maybe next week, and see kind of where it's going there. And I'll definitely be reporting on who's making it to college nationals. And we'll go from there. But thanks for listening. Make sure you like the video, subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and make sure you tune in to our podcast that we do a couple times a month. Right? So thanks for listening and watching. I'll see you next week.